on the activity sheet, we have a bunch of things that we labeled as easy, medium, hard. You can try and jump in, however you'd like. In fact, you'll actually get some experience in the Canvas itself. You all should have gotten that. Why did I give you access?
I'll invite her.
Speaker.
We got it.
We got to do it. I know. Well, you know, over now. You all should have gotten an invitation to a Canvas course called the Active Teaching Lab. I think just about everybody. There's a couple of pending people, but most people are in it. You have teacher access, so you can all create a module, create pages, embed Google Docs, embed Box Docs, try to throw in your Office mix if you have an Office mix that you've been dying to try in Canvas, and play around with that. Go through these. We'll come back in a few minutes after you have some hands-on experience with that and answer some questions. Yes. Yeah, feel free to, if you have your own course and your own sandbox course, you can do that as well. We just registered you here in case you didn't. And we just registered you even though you didn't
Thank you.
sign
I
up.
saw. Thank you. I never know if I can do it.
I'm good at it. Yes. They better. Who's telling you guys that?
Is there a way to
Yeah, there's-
know how many gigabytes that you have in an old
A
course?
different
To
way
know,
I
okay,
would
gotta pare down
manage
a third of this before I go down to five.
But I think
So,
probably not starting to think about it
Uh,
a couple months before the semester starts and all those things. No, then Bethany left and she was the project manager. Flexible. It's just, you guys are just waiting for any news. Spent that same way, like, oh, the consultant, we're going to be consulting. Like, you guys got a plan? We started asking that, so it's like last May, like, yes, we have a plan.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't.
I had a meeting.
Or like you've got I mean, or like I put notes. Oh, but sometimes I do because I'm like building it and I just not that I use the notes.
So, you're going to change that as well. And some of your students are going to have their personal Google account attached versus the Google account. Any area that we can remove students.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to change.
Next Friday for a whole bunch of.
Or Google accounts right now.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get
Some answers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so frustrating, like, to be in, like, the in-between place, the waiting place, as Dr. Seuss says.
Yeah, yeah. With initial answers as well, you export it and then you export it on the other.
Just got dropped out.
That's okay.
Otherwise, it seems like you're hiding now.
That's so funny you say that. That was kind of, again, as the consultants preferred to do, like, communications, stop being the whole table. Just, people deal with it if they know what they're dealing with. It's like waiting to hear a diagnosis. Yeah, I can deal with it, but it's much worse than the anticipation of the thing.
I think the best thing about it is like so frustrating you're in the airport.
Like I'm sitting here wondering why is this plane not doing something? Is it broken?
Awesome.
While you're going through it, I'm like,
I participated with
We're trying to figure it out.
they had a campus here in the corner but I will write into the house, so that was
It's
my
all
parents.
the
Yeah.
files in there. It's like no.
So I don't know.
So if you open up one of those PDFs, the little gear thing on the left side, the right side.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have.
Right. So right now.
It must.
Oh, yeah. So right now.
I don't know the answer.
Embed
Oh, yeah.
my video in
Because even if you upload, is there even an option to choose box when you upload files to site? Yeah. No, it just gives you, it doesn't have a link to box. So,
Oh.
I don't know. Nice mystery.
Oh, but a whole bunch of stuff got messed up in fall when
Some of that's
the
come back to
integrated.
station.
Yeah.
I haven't had any.
I mean, it's just more, I was exactly where that's security that
First
embedded
agent, yeah.
in the actual course is more secure than just linking.
Right.
Authorized, did that not do anything?
It's set up as
But if you think about embedding, it's just a link,
So you already used the whisper.
right? It's just an iframe.
And if you go under account here.
Right?
Well, there are three different options. Because there's the link, there's embed code, and then there's a third one from Kiltura. Because I use different ones depending on if I'm piping
Yeah, I
it
started because
to WordPress, to former CMS, to Learn at UW. Like I use different ones work on different people's sites where like
things like that to try.
and so it might depend on which one's the more secure. I don't have to think about that anymore.
Those are actually in the semester.
But I mean, and that's why I'm asking you the question. Like, I'll question. It only direct you with it is
That's what I said before, I heard the gentleman.
that overlaps.
Just like
Usually,
yeah, so do you want it available as a file or available
So,
to like embedded to watch?
So a video that I want the students to be I want them to be in Canvas to be able to click on something.
Like I feel like we set up, like
I've done
start our
enough
tool
tours.
like one time and like look through it.
We still have other people. Yeah, I'm embedded.
There's a trigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like wait and try it in, wait and try it in Canvas. Like other things have fallen apart for me in detail and I just don't care.
You're like, well, yeah, just gonna duct tape it because all these beautiful,
No.
Yeah, so if
Well, I
which
don't
is
know.
that final part.
but as long as it don't.
But,
Yeah,
right, so thinking about looking at Office 365,
Really.
and again, Josh was saying,
And see, that's, and I haven't moved towards that for that very reason. Like if I start to,
So anyone
trying to get more simple, I start using some other. Sorry, so I mean, that's the video stuff.
And I'm like, like if we just go right out. So I think I have.
Well, they're in the instructional text.
I mean, it's fine, but
Steel and.
to me that's a bit like building.
The
Yeah,
content,
I don't.
or the content tool, like feedback,
Yeah.
troubleshooting, not troubleshooting, but like identifying needs,
So
is
in
that,
my
is that
I was
one.
like, here's a bunch of screen.
oh, yes, very nice.
I think
So the question is, how do we build that out in here and create a model that everyone will use the same?
So that
If it makes sense, like that's my,
And look at H5P too, I don't know how well that works. I did quizzing, video quizzing in that too.
funny that I just.
HPT.
.org.
Yeah, look it up, it's very cool.
And if you check out our press books, we've got a whole section on that.
Yeah, so I didn't do that, I just did.
an image and say, click on the whatever spot, identify the part of the brain that has a amygdala or whatever.
Be in the middle of it, it can get a little loud, but. Not necessarily football, when it gets warmer, people are probably, now people like actually are like, hurry, just get in the fire.
So that
Firefox?
but in my case,
Firefox has an issue logging or in Google Drive.
but now you can have your.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But I bring this.
I know, there's so much stuff.
Circa whenever, like after due dates, because the last marital town, nobody can figure out why this. I mean, Google, I don't even try to touch with that, like, and nobody can figure out.
You just Safari there, or do you have Google for that? Do you have Google?
I while I was there, no.
So what happened with Firefox is that I was trying to go to Google Apps and it said I needed to authorize, and I got to the screen where it says, these people would like to do this with your thing, would you let them, and I clicked allow, and it said authorization failed, and so I did that loop a little bit, and then I went to Chrome and had
If when you were trying, but
it wouldn't let me sync my Google Drive and yeah, I can process it, yeah. I'm trying Netscape. Just like shared. Right.
All right, I see some conversations happening, and I'm hesitant to interrupt them, but let me interrupt them. Hi. What are we finding? What are your thoughts? Is anybody having any good experiences in this?
Yeah.
Okay, some good experiences.
It doesn't totally suck.
It doesn't.
People might use Box. Oh, people use Box, or, well, yeah, mostly it's about Box. If I want to link to the file that's in Box on a page, do I need to change or have particular permissions on that folder to be able to do that? Does anybody know?
Probably.
What would those permissions be? Like, it would have to be a public or a shared or Box?
When I opened up Box, it only showed me the ones that I had access to actually adding files to and editing. It wasn't showing me other folders that I don't have that access to.
So if you link to a folder that I have access to, do I have to change the permissions on that folder so that?
No. I just did one and gave you a choice of people with this link or people in folder. So it looks like if you create it through the course page, in theory, if you click people with this link, since there's this other choice, people in the folder, that suggests that if you give them a link in the courseware, they'll get in.
Okay.
But I haven't actually had somebody on the other side try yet, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you're linking PDF files or Word files or whatever in Box to that?
This is a PowerPoint, yeah.
Okay, PowerPoints. One of the question that I have that I don't know the answer to is then if I'm a student on the bus and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to class and it's a 15-minute bus ride and I want to catch up on that, does that PowerPoint get downloaded from Box to my device?
It can.
Fill up my-
It's a choice.
Okay.
It doesn't have to.
All right, so I can look at it.
The little panda.
Little panda render unicycle. Got it, okay. This is one of the things about PDFs that I've always struggled with, is I hate downloading them to my computer or whatever, because then I get all these PDFs, and I'm downloading the computer, now I'm on a different computer, or I'm on my device, and I can't get it. So I always like the things that are embedded directly versus, so I like the choice. And it's a thing to think about for students, are you forcing them to download all of this extra stuff?
And it's not necessarily, because some of the conversations we had, it's not necessarily like we want students to have, we're worried about students having access, we're worried about other people having access that aren't supposed to be seeing these things, or are sensitive data.
So Lynn had a question about her Canvas course that was converted over from D2L and was using 0% of the game, but she had June's two PDFs on there.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe it's
Yeah,
broken.
so how do you, yeah.
Where are you looking at it? Are you looking?
In
files.
So what, but I guess what version? Did you move it to your, like the one that's connected to your?
Someone else moved it.
Okay, someone else moved it. I bet that in between space. I don't want to throw anybody off who's not going through this process right now, but we have student staff that will be moving your courses when it's your semester. You can do it whenever you want, but when it's your school semester to shift over. And they place it from D2L into this, a migration space. And I bet that doesn't have a gig limit because of those reasons. Because you need to be able to move all the stuff that was in D2L into that space. But when you move it into the one that's connected to the course guide, or the one that your official course space, then that will have the one. I know, and I don't want to freak anybody out. That's why we have.
Change is
And
hard.
though, that, I mean, I'm looking at a huge listing of PDF files, and so it's very pertinent that, like, where does it make sense to house those documents? Do they need to be PDFs? You know, is it simple info that can just be HTML? Is it some other, you know, like, it's exactly what John's talking about.
And you guys are going through that process of biopro, right? Biochemistry. I don't know if
And-
you're in the process yet.
Normally, I would recommend, Google Drive, because even PDFs, you don't have to download them, they'll just appear. You'll get a preview of them so that students can go through that without having to fill up their device. And without filling up your limited space, because the list Google Drives have unlimited space.
Yeah, we do think about Google Drive a lot of times as a place where we store our Google Docs but it's actually a storage space where you can upload just about anything.
And we don't have, do we have storage limits there? On Google Drive, it's unlimited now.
I'm waiting for somebody to push that.
And then, and they're still individually based though, like it's tied to one NetID. Like any single Google Drive is tied to a single individual NetID rather than anything organizational.
You can get service accounts.
Oh, we
If
can.
you have an
Okay.
Office 365 service account, you can have an Office 365, you can have a Google service account.
Okay.
And that solves the question of like what happens when Tara leaves.
Yeah.
What does that mean about it?
It'd be just like you get an email to the department, and you can assign that email to whoever's answering the phones that, or answering emails that week. So we have one for faculty engagement that all of the members of faculty engagement have access to, have admin access to, but it's owned by faculty engagement at risk.edu.
If you ask for Learn at UW support, that's a service account. Academic Tech is a service account.
Any other thoughts, questions? So one of the main points that I just want to reinforce is good organization lowers the barrier to student learning. It helps students find out where things are without having to spend all of the energy that you have this much energy to spend on your course. How much of this much energy that they have do you want them to spend figuring out where to get to the course content, and how much do you want them to spend on interacting with the course content? If you can make finding the course content and what do I do with the course content a very, very small amount, that means that they'll have more brain space for actually engaging in the course content. So that's why this is important. And it's one of these things that it's, as a non-organized person, generally non-organized person, this is a struggle for me every day. To like, how do I keep things more organized? And it's something that I've been working on. But I recognize that it's a very important thing. Any other thoughts? Next week, well actually on Monday, from 12:30 to 1:30, Miguel Garcia Casalves is going to be talking in this room about, he has a 400 student online class that he has in Canvas, and he gives everybody, he has 45 assignments throughout the semester, and he gives them good feedback. So he uses rubrics, and he uses no, he doesn't use discussions, he gives them audio assignments, so they actually submit themselves speaking something, and he can go through and listen to it in Kaltura very quickly, and use the rubric to very quickly speed grade them. It's gonna be an interesting conversation. I just talked with him yesterday about it. So come back Monday at 12:30 if you can.